Hey, what's up guys? Today we're talking about the pros and cons of living in Baton Rouge. We're not just going to gloss over the good points today, we're going to go over the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm going to tell you about all the things that I like about living in the area and everything that I can't stand about Baton Rouge and South Louisiana in general. Hey everybody, my name is Sean Ramos and this is Living in Louisiana. Welcome to the channel. If it's your first time here, make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell because I'm going to be cranking out these videos weekly that are all about living in Louisiana and more specifically the Greater Baton Rouge area. I am a licensed real estate agent in Louisiana, so if you're thinking about making a move here, make sure you hit me up. All my information is at the bottom of your screen right now and all those calls, texts, and emails come directly to me. So whether you're thinking about making the move right now or down the line, I've got your back when it comes to making a move in Louisiana. Now, I'm generally a positive guy, so I'm going to start with the pros and I'm going to end with the cons. So make sure you stick around at the end so you can see if any of these cons are going to be a deal breaker for you when it comes to making the move here. Pro number one is Baton Rouge is affordable. Today I'm talking more about housing. I have another video where I talk about the cost of living in Baton Rouge where I get down to everything as specific as a gallon of milk. But right now we're talking about the big stuff. So whether you want to rent or buy, you're going to find that you can get into a place relatively cheaply when you're comparing to bigger markets in other parts of the country. To get some data for comparison, I went online and I found on rent.com that the average 2-bedroom in the US is about $2,054 a month. And you would think they know because rent is literally in their name. When I jumped in our MLS, I found that in Baton Rouge you can get a 2-bedroom on average for about $1,400 a month. Now obviously that ranges. I found some as low as $675 and as high as $2,450. So depending on exactly what you're looking for and what part of town you want to be in, there is a good range there, but you average about $1,400 a month. Now when it comes to buying a house, I found that the first quarter of this year, the US median home price was about $428,000. In Baton Rouge at that same time frame, the median home price was about $250,000. Now for you guys out there saying, I didn't come here to do math, let me do it for you. That's about $178,000 less in Baton Rouge than across the US. And that was earlier in the year. Right now, the actual median home price is $240,000, so it's ticked down a little bit. But obviously you can spend as much money as you want to. I looked just out of curiosity, and the most expensive listing in Baton Rouge right now is a 25,000 square foot estate for $14 million. If you're interested in buying that one, let me know. Pro number two is Baton Rouge has a good economy. Unemployment in the area tends to stay pretty low and you've got lots of job opportunities in the major sectors. Got the petrochemical, there are lots of plants around here that have plenty of 6-figure jobs available. Healthcare, we've got Our Lady of the Lake, Baton Rouge General, Oshner, Women's Hospital, Blue Cross Blue Shield. Got industrial services, these are the guys that take care of all these plants and do jobs and turnarounds and things like that. Turner Industries is one of the bigger ones. Got education, government, and entertainment. Now, I didn't even realize this until recently, but the past decade, Louisiana's hosted over 400 movie productions, multiple TV series, and documentaries. Pro number three, got some really good food in Baton Rouge. So of course you got all the things that we're known for: gumbo, etouffee, all the different seafoods, boudin, muffulettas, red beans and rice, jambalaya, and crawfish. And some of the sweet stuff, we've got beignets, king cakes, pralines, banana foster, boiled peanuts. And to be fair, I don't think boiled peanuts are technically a Louisiana thing, but definitely a southern thing. So a while back, me and my family had to move to northern Kentucky, and I was really shocked when my neighbors looked at me like I was nuts when I was talking about boiled peanuts. They're so good, I just assumed they were a thing everywhere. And don't forget the snowballs. And I just found out that Baltimore claims to have invented snowballs. And just between me and you, that's some bull.
That sounded stupid.
Snowballs as we know them here were started in New Orleans. My absolute favorite are crawfish boils. During crawfish season, you're going to find that everybody gets together at their houses and they're boiling 30 to 40 pound sacks of crawfish. A lot of beer drinking going on, and it's generally just a good time and a great reason to get together with friends and family. Pro number four, Baton Rouge has just genuinely good people. This applies to Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas, but Southern hospitality is a real thing. Now, the only exception I would say is that for some reason when people get in their vehicles and they jump on I-10 and 12, it's like a switch gets flipped and something comes out of people where they can just be real assholes on the road. But when things go south here and there's some kind of disaster like hurricanes, flooding, power outage, whatever it may be, you're going to find that people will come out of the woodworks to help each other out. And it's not just in Louisiana either. Recently there was a hurricane in Florida, and immediately I saw people on Facebook getting organized, getting things together to be delivered out there to help those people out. And I'd say that goes both ways. When we have some sort of disaster disaster here, people from the neighboring Gulf of Mexico states just all tend to help out. Pro number 5 is it's just fun here. There's tons of outdoor activities. There's a reason they call this a sportsman's paradise. From hunting, fishing, kayaking, water skiing, tubing, jet skiing. There's lots to do outside, and we have generally warm weather all year long, so you can enjoy these things. And then you've got Mardi Gras, another thing that other states claim to have invented when it was really started in the New Orleans area, but it's something that people look forward to every year. So it can get really wild. You can find some crazy parties and parades out there, or you can find some more family-friendly things where you can take kiddos. Then you've got all the festivals, from music to food and drinks, arts and culture, and holidays. There's always something going on. All right, that's enough of the good stuff. As promised, let's get into some of the cons, some of the things you may not like about the area. Con number 1, you're gonna have to deal with hurricanes or flooding at some point. So the hurricane season goes 6 months from June through November. And generally, the closer you are to the coast, the worse off it's gonna be for you. Now, these things tend to pick up a lot of strength in those warm Gulf waters, but as soon as they hit land, they start weakening. So I find by the time it gets to us, it's generally weakened significantly from what it was when it hit landfall. And with the hurricanes, you're going to be dealing with strong winds, flooding, possible tornadoes, and power outages. And the power outages for me have been the biggest hassle. So I've lived in Louisiana my whole life for the most part, and I've never really had any significant damage from hurricanes. But we have lost power from days to weeks, depending on how bad it was. But you're going to find that you do have plenty of time to prepare for these things. They'll tend to let you know a week out or so that it's coming right at you, and you can either get what you need together and hunker down, or make plans to head out of town. Now, personally, I've never evacuated from a hurricane. I've never been through a bad one coming directly at me that was enough to make me get out of town. So we tend to just ride them out and deal with it. But you're going to want to make sure you're prepared and have plenty of water and food and a generator if possible. And I've done it each way, from not having a generator and just having to suck it up, and I'll tell you it's really hot with no fans and air conditioners, to having a generator that you can hook up to your house and just run the main things, and also having a whole house generator that's hooked up to the natural gas that when you lose power, you don't miss a beat. It automatically switches over and everything runs just like normal, including the central air. And that's definitely the way to go, I think. I'm having a house built right now, and we're having everything set up for a generator. So find the biggest problem that you have with a gas generator is actually getting the gas. You'll find that you're sitting for hours in lines waiting to get gas, or like the last one we had, I was driving an hour each way just to avoid some of the lines. It is pretty costly to have the whole house generator. You're typically looking at about $10,000 or so to have it installed. And for people I talk to, the understanding that I have is that it was costing about $50 a day to actually run the generator. But I promise you, when your power goes out, you'll be more than happy to pay that $50 a day to have your air conditioner. And then of course there's the flooding. So it's not a regular thing, but you do need to pay attention when you're buying a house and where you're gonna be. Know which flood zone it's in, because not only can it actually flood, but it's going to affect your mortgage payment, because your flood insurance, which is extra insurance, is added on to your mortgage payment. Definitely affects the affordability of your house. But that's where having a good real estate agent can help you, because if you're looking to be in flood zone X where you don't need flood insurance completely, then I can help you find exactly what you're looking for. Con number 2 is the lack of public transportation. Unless you're living, working, and staying in downtown all the time, you're definitely going to need a car. There is a public bus system in the city, but it's limited on where it can get you, so you're more than likely going to need the car to get where you really need to go. And one thing I can mention about that is the auto insurance rates in Louisiana tend to be pretty high, but the gas tends to be pretty cheap.
It's not bad at all.
Con number 3 is the traffic can suck at times in Baton Rouge. So some improvements definitely have been made, and it's better now than it used to be. And more improvements are coming, but it's gonna get worse before it does get better. So there's construction set to begin in 2023, with major lane restrictions coming in 2024. But they're widening I-10 to try to fix what's probably the worst bottleneck on the interstate coming west over the Mississippi River into Baton Rouge. Con number 4 is the crime. So if you look at any of the statistics, you're gonna see that Baton Rouge is ranked pretty high when it comes to crime rates. And you're gonna see that Baton Rouge seems to be a pretty dangerous place, but you know, in all my years here, I've never personally had any experience with crime. Just like any other city, there are gonna be pockets where it's more dangerous than it is now, but we're generally a safe area. And I've never had any personal experience with crime, but I actually did have my vehicle stolen one time, but it was my fault. I was at a gas station in a not so great part of town. I got gas and it didn't give me a receipt. Without thinking, I left my keys in the ignition, I left my door open, and I went in the store And this lady who was on the payphone saw that I walked away and jumped in my vehicle and took off.
What an idiot.
Con number 5 is the weather. Now this can be a pro or a con, I guess, depending on how you look at it, but to me, it's definitely a con. So we've got a humid subtropical climate with just long, hot, brutal, humid summers, mild winters, and generally moderate to heavy rainfall. Now the summers are just intense. I've heard them described as oppressive, and I would completely agree. I've talked to lots of people who say they will take that 105-degree day over a 32-degree day any day of the week.
No way.
Not this guy though. Bring on the cold weather. As a matter of fact, right now we're just getting a little teaser of some of the fall temperatures. It's been, in the upper 70s, low 80s a lot of days, lows in the 50s, and in the low 60s, and it's just been great. That's actually why I'm out here today, because I want to enjoy some of this beautiful weather we're finally having. But the seasons are definitely unpredictable, so we've got really long summers, short winters. It's not unusual in certain parts of the year to need your heater at night and your air conditioner during the day, so you're constantly switching back and forth. It's kind of said as a joke, but it's really a real thing. The only predictable seasons we have here are Mardi Gras season, crawfish season, snowball season, hurricane season, football season, and hunting season. Alright guys, that's all I've got for you today. So I'm just curious to know, are any of those cons deal breakers for you? If there's anything you just don't think you can handle, drop it in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful, and if you haven't done it yet, make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. And as a reminder, I am a licensed real estate agent in the state of Louisiana, and as much as I love making these videos for you guys, I would love even more to help you with your real estate needs. So again, all my info is at the bottom of your screen right now. All the calls, texts, and emails come directly to me, and I love having these conversations with you guys. So if there's any specific questions or needs that you have when it comes to making the move in or making a move to Louisiana, make sure you hit me up. Until next time, enjoy your week, and I'll see you on the next one.